I think I've always kind of had an appreciation for things that are handcrafted. I grew up kind of spending the summers with my grandpa, as he was a master metal fabricator, and so kind of growing up spending the summers with him in his shop working on airplanes and stuff really gave me that kind of appreciation. My name is Daniel Skinner and I own Skinner American Goods. All our jeans are made with what's called raw denim, which is essentially denim exactly the way it is when it comes from the factory. So it hasn't been pre-washed, it hasn't been pre-distressed. You start out with essentially a brand new garment. And because it hasn't been pre-shrunk or pre-washed, the denim actually starts to mold to your body as you wear it. And so you get a lot better fit, you get longer life. Materials that we use are all ethically sourced and also come from some of the greatest mills in the world. So all of our leather and denim comes from either the US, Japan, or Italy. Those three countries, not only do they produce some of the finest materials in the world, but they also have relatively high labor and environmental standards. So that ensures that there's no child labor, that they're not dumping chemicals into the water and stuff like that. Tallahassee, especially for its size, does such a great job of cultivating small businesses and arts and really helping artists kind of get into the spotlight, especially over the last couple of years. You look at all the murals popping up around town, the electrical boxes on the side of the roads that are now wrapped with local artists' art, stuff like that. And then of course you have Railroad Square here, which is sort of the epicenter of art in Tallahassee. My favorite piece of equipment is my Reese 101 adjustable fly bar buttonhole machine. And what that does is makes all the buttonholes for jeans. They are an incredibly complicated piece of machinery. Even around the sewing world, they're notoriously difficult to work on and to keep running. And so it's taken a couple of years for me to really get comfortable with all the adjustments that need to be made. But what it does is essentially, it is the best machine that's ever been invented for that particular application. So the one that I'm using was built sometime in the 60s, and they're still using those exact machines in factories today. So I met my wife while we were both here in Tallahassee going to school, and she finished up with school before I decided to stop going to school, and she got a job here in town to stay here with me. And then when I decided to start working full-time and pursuing my business, we just sort of stayed here. We really like the area, and it's I think a good combination of busy enough and big enough where there's a lot of stuff to do, but doesn't quite have the traffic of South Florida. And so yeah, we decided to stay here, and we got married in 2018, and then the next year had our daughter, and then just this past year we had a little boy. So we're quickly growing our family. I think the city does a really good job of integrating art into its landscape and into its culture without feeling forced. And yeah, it just feels supernatural to be an artist here in Tallahassee. This is the only place in the state of Florida where you can go in and have custom jeans made by a single person in-house. I also invite people to come on the day that I'm making your jeans and kind of sit with me and watch the process and be a little more involved in it. And that's something I get really excited about, and that's, I don't know of too many places in the US where you can do that.